Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. I am going almost 300 watts and only doing 15 miles an hour. It is windy out there. I and the very strong group of riders behind me are heading right into a headwind. Soon we'll make a right turn and then we'll have more of a crosswind than we will a headwind. After I've taken my pull and I'm at the back, we're starting to curve around. There's not a lot of room for me behind the rear wheel I'm following and the 1-inch drop off to the dirt on the right. The wind is pushing me and I'm trying to stay on the asphalt. All of a sudden, off I go. So now, rather than take a chance on this nearly 62-year-old body trying to jump 2 or 3 inches into a strong wind, I wait till the surfaces get closer together and I jump across, and now I chase them back down. We are now on the main part of the course. There's a strong side wind coming from the left side. So what do? We echelon. Rather than be directly in back of the rider in front of you, we are to the back and to the right a little bit. The person at the very front stays all the way to the left side of the bike lane in this case. The next person behind him is a little bit to his right side, the next person behind that a little bit to the right side, all the while being cognizant of your front wheel. You got to be careful about crossing it. If the wind is real strong and you do need to cross, you got to make sure that you give yourself some extra distance between you and that rider's back wheel that's now on your left side. But if you do that in a case like this, what we have here, a bike lane, you're going to have 3 people that are protected and everyone else is going to be guttered. So let's take a look and see what can happen when somebody gets guttered. I use my most favorite example, me. I've been at the front, pushing somewhere between 380 and 440 watts, barely going over 20 miles an hour. Eventually, I pull off. So notice I'm already on the left side, giving everyone back of me a chance to have some sanctuary. After I pull off, I go to the back and I find 2 things. One, that the lead rider is about 75 to 80% of the way over. You can still get another bike to go on his left side in the bike lane. And 2, it didn't even matter if he was. There's a lot of people in this group and there's not a lot of bike lane. So now I'm guttered and I got to do my best to hang on. After about 70 seconds of this, I finally succumb and then I drift off the back. This is actually an excellent tactic to use in a road race, and you'll actually see it in some Tour de France stages where it's flat and all of a sudden they turn and then there's a crosswind there. So if that happened in this case, the lead rider in our group would go all the way to the right side so as not to give any sanctuary to the person behind him and would just go as fast as he can trying to gutter things out. A technique that will be used in the upper elite and the pro races is that you'll get 2 or 3 people from a team going to the front under those conditions, and that the lead person will be over 1 or 2 widths of a bicycle as to give his 2 teammates a chance to rest in the wind. So that guy will go as fast as he can, and then when he pulls off, he'll pull off and go right in back of his 2 teammates, so now he's on the protected side. So now these 3 guys can drill it in hopes of splitting up the pack. And this is what happens. Say bye-bye. Fast forward a good 30 minutes and we've regrouped. The rest of the group went on and did their ride. I split off at the small town and did a time trial type of workout. So now we're riding back in. We have the strong side wind from our right side now, and it's kind of a side tailwind. You would think it would make it a lot easier. It makes it just a little easier. And not all the time. Now you have to worry about this situation. Everyone is pretty tired, and everyone wants to be protected. So some riders are starting to go into the car lane to minimize the effects of the wind on them. Fast forward a little bit, I'm now bridging up to the group after trying to help another rider that was dropping off and pulling another one back up. I noticed that the person that's now in the lead is the same person that was in the lead when I got popped off the back on the way up. He's in the middle, needs to be over more, so I go up there and I ask him to move across to the right. If there's a safety concern or some other concern that you have, say something. I hope this video was helpful for you in understanding the how, when, and why to echelon. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. In fact, why don't you do all 3? comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.